Yes, this is the early press conference in preparation for the NCAA South Central West Regionals. This is the Holy Names University Men's Golf press conference. Men's golf had just completed a Pac-West championship as they prepare for the regionals that are coming up this week in Utah. At the table right now is Chris Oetinger, head coach.
All right, Chris. So you guys just won the first ever Pac-West Men's Golf Championships, not only for men's golf, but also in Holy Names history. What does it mean to be on the first team or coach the first team that wins the first ever Pac-West Championships?
Well, it's awesome. I think we're surprised. We're happy to break through the ice. We didn't go there necessarily expecting to win. That was definitely a goal we had talked about. But no, awesome experience and glad we could finally break through for the school.
So you guys had an individual winner in the tournament as well, Heetae Yang.
Yeah.
Speak a little bit about Heetae's performance in the tournament.
Well, Heetae's performance was pretty special. The way he came down, the way he closed out the tournament at the end was phenomenal. So many birdies. He was chasing all day. He fell behind early, and he chased down in the end and won by 3. It really kind of brought our team over the hump. We ended up winning the tournament by 3 as well. Heetae's worked hard all year. He's got a special type of work ethic. He's got big goals. Very happy to see him win this tournament.
And you guys hadn't won a tournament as a team all season. The highest finish you had as a team was second place, and then you guys come up in first at the Pac-West Championships. How did that feel to really feel like you put your best foot forward as a team on the biggest stage?
That was cool to watch. It had been a tough year. We had pretty much turned over the whole team this year, a ton of new guys. We got off to a great start in the fall and had worked on perfecting our process of preparing for tournaments all year. It had been a big thing we talked about. We'd had a hard time closing out events. So to put it all together at the very end is special. And like I said earlier, it surprised us. We're super happy that it happened at the right time.
And you talked about the turnover. You guys have a completely new 5 from last year where you made a championships appearance to this year winning the Pac-West Championships. Talk about maybe some of the challenges that this 5 went through and kind of learning how to play as a team.
Yeah, so first off, none of them had played NC2A Division II golf at any point. They played junior college golf, had played outside tournaments as individuals. Playing on this level with balancing the academic rigor plus with the travel schedule, all the classes you miss, and then putting them all together, make sure you're prepared for those tournaments is difficult. And I think that's what we struggled with mostly early in the year was balancing life and golf and succeeding at both. And I think that was their biggest challenge. It's been nice to watch them learn. Everybody's pretty much coming back next year, so it'll be great to see what they've learned from this year. But I'm glad that they finally put that together.
Now, you talked about surprising yourselves winning the tournament. Coming in, you guys were projected maybe around second or third. Does it make it any more special being that you guys maybe were kind of seen as underdogs even after having gone to championships last year?
Oh, yeah. It felt good. We knew that other people didn't expect much from us. We went there talking about winning a championship, although, that was going to be difficult. Will we actually be able to do it? But it's great because nobody was talking about Holy Names this year winning the conference. They were talking about Academy of Art. They were talking about Dominican. They were even talking about Hilo, who we had pretty much beaten most of the year. So it's special to wake other people up and let them see us.
And now that you guys get to turn your sights to the NCAA Division II South Central and West Regional, what can we expect coming up for that tournament from you guys?
So we went out in the fall for the preview tournament. We finished kind of middle of the pack. I think we finished 12 or 14 out of 24 teams. It was a big tournament. I think it's a good course for us. The front 9 is a course where you can kind of hit the ball all over the place. We have a team that does kind of hit the ball far. And then the back 9 is a totally different animal. It's more like you got to kind of keep the ball in front of you, make sure we minimize penalty strokes. I would expect us to light up the front 9 and try to figure out how we're going to score throughout the week on the back 9. We've been preparing all week for what that course. All of us, for the most part, went to that preview, so we've been preparing our games for what that course demands.
And now, what are you expecting out of sort of each individual guy? I know Heetae just came up with a big win, but Zack's been playing well all season. It's really been a total team effort. So, what can we expect from each guy?
We don't talk too much about outcomes or results. We talk a lot about process. So what I expect from each one of them is to have already started their process in preparing for this tournament, show up there ready to go. Like I just said, they've seen the course, so they know what they're up against. And I expect them to show up and be prepared, and we'll let the outcomes take care of themselves.
Is there any team that you're looking to kind of compare with, or are you going in with the mindset of, hey, if we take care of our own, we can move on to the next stage?
We're going in with nobody expected us to be there, with chips on our shoulders because, we're a young team. Nobody expected anything really from us this year, and there's no pressure on us. So, we feel light, and we're just happy to still be playing.
And then last question, is there anything that you would like to add in general about how the season has gone, maybe other challenges that nobody has seen that you guys have went through, maybe how you guys have bonded as a team, or anything just last preparation for the tournament?
Well, I think what's interesting about this team is we've had, for it being brand new, generally it's hard to recruit like a big class and have a lot of guys contribute, and we've had like 6, 7 guys in and out of the lineup this year. So I think one of the things we had to overcome was who is our best 5 guys. And it took quite a while for each person to figure out where they fell into the roster. And it seems like that has kind of fallen into place now. And you see a lot of confidence in the guys where they didn't have it earlier in the season. So.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next question, Coach. Now that we come into the postseason, given this is a 3-day tournament when most of the regular season, with the exception of the Pac-West Championships, has been 2 days, does that change your preparation given it's just 18 holes each day versus, the teams who are used to playing Monday, Tuesday versus Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? How does that change your approach as a coach?
I don't think it affects the way we prepare for it leading into the tournament, but what we do each day between the rounds, it gives the guys time if they want to go, touch up on their games a little more, but it also gives us time to reset. And, one of the things when you have a tournament with a practice round and then 3 days of golf is it's hard to keep your mind locked in for, 5 hours, 1 round of golf, much less, 4 days. So I think it's really important when we have these tournaments that are dragged out to separate from golf and get away from the game for a little bit so that when we come back the next day, we're fresh.
Do you have any questions on the floor for head coach Chris Oetinger?
Yeah, Coach. As you head into this tournament, I understand the theory behind the process over the product and not worrying about the outcome. What are some of your concerns that this tournament faces that you guys haven't seen so far this season?
Well, this is the first tournament we've gone into where we won the tournament before. So I'm a little concerned that maybe the guys are already thinking about outcome, having tasted victory and having won it again, so going there thinking more about the outcome than the process. So that's my job to make sure that they're focused, again, I keep saying it, but on the process, how they prepare, how they set themselves up each day rather than the outcome. I think that's always been our biggest problem.
Any more questions? Okay. Thank you. That was head coach Chris Oetinger.
Well, thanks.
Okay, this is a press conference. This is the second segment of the press conference as the HU men's golf team prepares for the NCAA Division II South Central West Regional later this week in St. George, Utah. On the table on your right, you have Zack McClure, and on your left, you have Heetae.
Awesome. So, guys, first question for both of you will be, you guys have been a part of the first team to ever win a Pac-West championship in school history, not just in the sport, but for the entire school. What does it mean to be on that team that brings home the first title?
We're just honored to be the champion of the Pac-West championship. I mean, we were working hard, and then we didn't really get the result that we were expecting this season. We're glad that we finally got the result that we wanted to get it.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. All season we've been practicing and working at courses where we see a lot of the guys that were on the team last year, and they always constantly reminded us about the run that they made, and it really was a big motivator for us. It was a grind all year, and so to finally put it all together at the end, like Coach Oetinger said, it was probably as rewarding as it could have been.
Does it give you a little extra comfort knowing that even though they made it to the championships, they didn't win a Pac-West title, and now you guys already have that under your belt?
Well, maybe a little bit, but at the same time, we have to disassociate from that team a little bit because we are a completely different 5, and we kind of have to set our goals for what we think we're capable of, and kind of like Coach said, our process, and not really focus on years past.
And then you guys mentioned how it was a little bit of a tough year, kind of not getting the results. Can you guys sort of explain kind of the grind that you guys went through, starting with you, Zach?
Well, I started the spring very well coming out of winter break where I was able to work hard, and immediately my game kind of left me for the first couple tournaments. And so every week I kind of could see that my game was getting better, and my best finishes were towards the end of the year. So I'm just proud of the work that I put in, and it's nice to always see the positive results following it.
For me, I was just keep working hard, even though I didn't really get the result that I wanted to get. And like I'm pretty sure we all had the pressure because we never played NCAA before. And like obviously for me, I was disappointed about my game, but I was just keep working hard and be patient. And then yeah, that was helpful.
And then, Heetae, this question's for you. So, coming into the tournament, you guys had kind of been picking it up, and then you ended up shooting a 68 in the final round, a tournament best, to end up working your way up the leaderboard to finish with the tournament victory. How did that feel for your first ever tournament win?
I'm just really honored. I was just try to keep thinking about the present, not like a result or outcomes. And then I'm glad that I ended up winning the tournament and our team won the tournament.
And then, so you guys are getting ready to go to the South Division, South Central, West Regional, and this is a course you guys have seen before, so what do you sort of expect, being that you've already played that once before?
I was fortunate enough to play in the tournament. Heetae couldn't travel with us that week, so we're going to have to catch him up on the golf course a little bit, but he's good everywhere he plays, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. But having that extra experience, having 3 rounds on that golf course already, I think it does give us a little bit of an advantage, even though we are kind of coming in as an underdog.
And then you guys will probably face a little bit more pressure. Obviously, it's going to be a bigger tournament. How do you sort of go about just focusing on maybe what you're doing and not focusing on some of the external pressure?
Well, one thing that's nice too is Chris put together a schedule where we are traveling a lot throughout the spring. So we've competed against most of the teams that will be in this field. So I think that makes it a lot easier to not have to worry about specific teams that you haven't played yet and aren't sure what they're going to bring. And I think that frees you up to kind of focus on just what your 5 guys are going to do and what you're going to do as an individual.
Well, I think like for me, I'm just gonna play like other same tournaments. Even though it's a bigger tournament, I'm just gonna put same effort. And I'm not going to think it's so special. And yeah.
Now, given that most of the regular season you'd play one day, the first day you'd play 36 holes, and the next day you'd play 18. How different of an adjustment is it to play 18 holes 3 separate days? And could you use that to your advantage, or do you see more of a challenge with that?
Yeah, I think playing 36 holes is just really tough because you have to keep the concentration on it for like 9 hours straight. So I mean that's the reason I was like trying to figure it out. How can I keep the concentration for 36 holes? Yeah.
Physically playing 2 rounds of golf in one day versus one, you have to pace yourself more. It's more of a marathon, not a sprint. Where you're playing 18 holes in one day, there might be a little bit more pressure from beginning of the day to end of the day because you're only playing half as many holes as you normally do. But I think you just have to stick to it and take it each hole at a time and each shot at a time.
And then you guys have came down the backstretch like we talked about with Coach Oetinger, sort of playing your best golf at the end of the season, kind of hitting the right stride. How do you think that will kind of carry you through the regional tournament?
Well, of course, I do have a confidence, but I'm just like putting the same effort in it. I'm not like thinking anything different. So, yeah, I'm just thinking about the process, not the result.
I think finishing strong gives you a nice confidence boost, knowing that over the last couple of weeks we have been playing our best golf. And I think there's no reason why this week we can't play better than we did last week, given the amount of work that we've put in.
Anyone else on the floor have a question?
Yeah, considering there are 20 teams in the tournament this weekend for you guys, what do you think would be a successful finish for you guys? What place would you guys be happy with?
Well, I think the fact that we're going there is just honored. So I don't really care about like any result. I think the most important thing is just beating yourself, so that like beating your team, not like other team.
Yeah, I think if we can walk onto the plane on Saturday night all agreeing that we put our best effort forward and played as good as we can. Whether or not we have another couple weeks of season going to the nationals, just the self-belief that we did the best we could is all that we're looking for.
And is there any final thing that you guys would like to add, maybe about the grind through the season, getting ready for final preparation for the tournament, or anything else that you haven't been asked about today?
Go ahead.
I think this year there's been a little bit of adversity, so it's nice to kind of take your lumps early, and then to come out on top just speaks to our team. We're a bunch of grinders, and we just work hard, and it might not always be pretty, but we're the last team from the Pac West still standing, so it's nice to be rewarded for that.
Yeah, nothing to say. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm so nervous.